Commentary of Saint Augustine on the Our Father in the Sermon of the Mount, Book 2, Chapter 10. But the distinction among these 7 petitions is to be considered and commended. For, inasmuch as our temporal life is being spent now, and that which is eternal hoped for, and inasmuch as eternal things are superior in point of dignity, albeit it is not only when we have done with temporal things that we pass to the other, although the 3 first petitions begin to be answered in this life, which is being spent in the present world, for both the hallowing of God's name begins to be carried on just with the coming of the Lord of humility, and the coming of his kingdom, to which he will come in splendor, will be manifested, not after the end of the world, but in the end of the world, and the perfect doing of his will in earth as in heaven, whether you understand by heaven and earth the righteous and sinners, or spirit and flesh, or the Lord and the church, or all these things together will be brought to completion just with the perfecting of our blessedness, and therefore at the close of the world. Yet all 3 will remain to eternity. For both the hallowing of God's name will go on forever, and there is no end of his kingdom, and eternal life is promised to our perfected blessedness. Hence, those things will remain consummated and thoroughly completed in that life which is promised us. But the other 4 things which we ask seem to me to belong to this temporal life. And the first of them is, give us this day our daily bread. For whether by this same thing which is called daily bread be meant spiritual bread, or that which is visible in the sacrament, or in this sustenance of ours, it belongs to the present time, which he has called today. Not because spiritual food is not everlasting, but because that which is called daily food in the Scriptures is represented to the soul either by the sound of the expression or by temporal signs of any kind. Things all of which will certainly no more have existence when all shall be taught of God, and thus shall no longer be making known to others by movement of their bodies, but drinking in each one for himself by the purity of his mind the ineffable light of truth itself. For perhaps for this reason also it is called bread, not drink, because bread is converted into aliment by breaking and masticating it, just as the Scriptures feed the soul by being opened up and made the subject of discourse. But drink, when prepared, passes as it is into the body, so that at present the truth is bread, when it is called daily bread, but then it will be drink, when there will be no need of the labor of discussing and discoursing, as it were, of breaking and masticating, but merely of drinking unmingled and transparent truth. And sins are at present forgiven us, and at present forgive them, which is the second petition of these 4 that remain. But then there will be no pardon of sins, because there will be no sins. And temptations molest this temporal life, but they will have no existence. When these words shall be fully realized, You shall hide them in the secret of your presence. And the evil from which we wish to be delivered, and the deliverance from evil itself, belong certainly to this life, which, as being mortal, we have deserved at the hand of God's justice, and from which we are delivered by his mercy.